Hello my dear student friends. Last video we had discussed about what do you mean by personality, what comprises of personality, and few definitions in relation with personality. Let's discuss something about the determinants of personality today. You can just look at the slide and this picture clearly indicates the determinants of personality. So you know, on the top we have culture, we have family, then we have social, then we have situational, comprises of personality, which called to be a part of environment, and the other side of the personality is heredity. So generally we know that these are the two components which comprise of personality, that is heredity and environment, the determinants of human growth and behavior. The individual is always comprised with heredity as one of the factors and the other is the environment. Well, what do you mean by heredity? We know that we are from one generation to another. We had our ancestral stocks, we had our ancestors, then we had great-grandfathers, then grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, and presently it is we, right? The passing of genetic traits from parent to offsprings. So whatever the genes, whatever the chromosomes we take from our parents that is passed to the offsprings can be a part of heredity. So it is a genetic coding, it is a genetic material what we inherit is a part of personality. Well, you can just look at you. You have the features, that is the hair texture what you have, the color complexion what you have, the eye features what you have, whether you are tall or short, all this will comprise of personality. So whatever the qualities which is there in the genes through the family, through the genetics will be passed by you, and we know that it is passed through the genes and it is a carry of chromosomes 23 plus 23, totally 46 chromosomes which pairs with the individual, and finally a human being is formed like you and me. Now there is a question, who determines the sex of the individual? Even today, most of the people in the society are unaware that it is the father who determines the sex of the individual, and most of the people think that it is only the mother who can control the sex of the individual, who can determine the sex of the individual. So we know that there are two types of chromosomes, that is X chromosome and Y chromosome. X chromosome is responsible for the baby to be a girl baby, and Y chromosome is responsible for the baby to be a boy baby. Now mother is a individual who has only XX chromosome, whereas father has Y chromosome as well as X chromosome. If father contributes X, then the baby will be girl baby, and if father contributes Y chromosome, then it will be generally a boy baby. So to conclude, whether today I am a girl, women, it is all because of my father. If you are a man or a woman, it is not the mother who has controlled your sex, it is the father who has controlled and determined the sex of yours. And we know that this is what we have in the society. It's a part of heredity, the personality trait. So this picture clearly indicates that a pair of twins, okay, girl twins, they are identical in nature, they look very much alike, and you on the other slide you can see that, you can note it, that one of the girls has a pair of twins again. So this is what we call it as a part of heredity, a heredity personality or a heredity trait. So the chances are more for the individuals who are from the same part of the family. It is all because of the genetic code and genes. Now, how the personality of the individual is formed? We know that mother plays a very dominant role in bringing up the child in the society. So we are having the environmental factors which contributes for the development of the child. So one factor is heredity, the other factor is environment. And environment, in terms of heredity, all the biological mechanisms, whatever want to be contributed for the individual, will be contributed at the time of conception, and heredity has no roles to play after the conception of a child in the womb of a mother. But how about the environment? The role of the environment starts once the conception has happened. So the environment can be taken into internal environment and external environment of the child. Now, what is this internal environment? Internal environment, the environment what a small fetus which is inside the womb of a mother experience is the environment which is considered to be the internal environment. So the food for nourishment is always given by the mother. The habits of the mother, the food which is consumed by the mother is always passed to the child. So if a woman in terms or during her pregnancy, if she is a chain smoker or if she is alcoholic addict, then it will always have an impact on the child in the later personality. Though the child which is healthy in the womb of a mother may have its own physical deformities because of the ill habits of a mother. So the nature of the mother always influences the fetus which is inside the womb of a mother. And most of the times we do have witnessed that women will be very highly stressful during her time of pregnancy. If she is into distress, she might start experiencing the distress in terms of anger, or it can result in blood pressures, high blood pressures or low blood pressures. All this will have a result and impact on the child which will be born into this society. So this is what we can call it as the internal environment. This is all we call it as a internal environment. The maternal stress always contribute for the development of a child. And I told you the other factors what we can see, the environmental factors. First one, what we experience is family. So in the society, every individual belongs to one or the other family. We have our own caretakers who look after us, who socialize us from an infant to an individual. Now, what does this family includes? So, family includes the family climate, nature of the family, whether we are from nuclear family, whether we are from joint family, or whether we are from live-in system, or it can be family members. Then we are having way of interaction among them. So sometimes it will be an autocratic family, there will be one dominant person who will be ruling, or it can be a democratic family where everybody sit together and decide the things, or it can be a very permissive family. So it is easy to take up the decision, you needn't bother about anybody. So whatever you give your consent, it is agreed by your family members. So all these factors influence the growing children. The next one is parenting style. As I already told you, authoritarian, democratic and permissive. So these are the three parenting styles what we can see. If we are having an authoritative parenting style, so you are having lot of inhibitions, you are stressed most of the time, you are into fear, so you try to give a projected personality and you try to agree with your family members, but once you are out of family, you become so violent and aggressive and you never listen to others. So that is one of the major factors what we can see. Democratic family where both sit together and decide, and permissive family where your Eid is very much dominant, whatever you want will be influenced by your family and will be given by your family. Of course, the structure of the family, joint and nuclear family. The recent statistics says that the suicidal tendency has become increased, and by 2020 depression would be the major cause for the death of the people. Just imagine, it is all because these days the importance of family is reducing, the importance of taking care with the people is been reducing, and most of the time people are encountering problems because it is all because of the isolation, and they have know people to express their emotions. And sometimes what happens in the family is partiality in terms of siblings, partiality in terms of gender. It can be in terms of your intelligence, it can be in terms of your physical beauty, what you possess. It can be the order of birth of the child. Okay, first is a male, first is a female, I love her a lot. The second is a female again, the third is a male child. So first child and the third will be having lot of love, whereas second child is always abstaining from the love. It is all because of the order of birth, and sometimes proximity of children, that is the spacing what they encounter. So, and a few things, the parental habits, the values of a parent, the drinking, or it can be alcoholic addiction, it can be a part of smoking. All this influence a development of a child. So you smoke in front of your child and you say that smoking is an ill habit, you should not practice. Now children get confused whether smoking, if it is a bad habit, then why my father is practicing, why my mother is practicing. So they do get confused with the nature or the parental habits. Status of the family, if you're from a rich, healthy and a very economic background, and that also contributes. And if you're from a religion, whatever you have, if you're from a poor status, that also contributes as a part of personality. The social nature of a family, everything contributes in the development of a child. And of course the relationship among parents. If parents are too quarreling, you know that most of the time you think that marriage is nothing but it is equal to quarreling. So the sense of emotion what you have will always be into destroying thing. It is because you witness your parents most of the time quarreling, and there is no emotional bond on parents, as well as there is no good family bond. And sometimes it can be the relationship what is happening between the people in terms of divorce, or it can be desertion, or it can be a relationship with a step parent. The attachment would be very much less, or compromising with the step parent would be very much tough. And sometimes broken family also plays a very major role. Thus, and we can also consider that sibling relations whatever we have, right? So it is brother sister, sister sister, brother brother. This also contributes as a part of personality for your development. So these are the few factors which determines as a part of family as a external factors in relation with the growth of personality in relation with the environment. Thank you.